Meat has several nutrients that are important for toddler development, particularly when we're talking about brain development and body growth. Do you have a toddler that won't eat meat? Like every time you offer it, they shun it, they shy away from it. It can be pretty frustrating if your toddler is not eating meat, especially if you're a meat lover and it's part of the mainstay of your diet. Of course, meat provides important nutrients for toddlers like protein and iron and zinc, but not all toddlers are meant to eat meat and not all families eat meat. But if your family eats meat and your toddler will not eat meat, this is a video for you. In this video, I'm revealing the biggest reason why toddlers will not eat meat and an easy fix for it, which is awesome news. I'll also cover the nutrients found in meat so that should your toddler not eat meat, you know which foods and nutrients to focus on to make sure your toddler is getting everything they need. I'll also give you some tips to help your toddler eat meat and give you some action items to think about in the meantime. Whether your toddler is eating meat or not, there are important nutrients that I'll focus on so you know exactly where you need to put your attention if your toddler's not eating meat. And hey, if you want to learn more about nutrition for your toddler or you want to help other parents learn more about nutrition, make sure you follow this channel, like this video, and drop a comment below. So why do some toddlers not eat meat? Well, one of the biggest reasons is, drum roll please, it's because meat is tough to chew. Remember, toddlers are new eaters. They're relatively new at the game of eating. They're still learning how to manipulate food in their mouth, how to have strong chewing skills, and meat can just be too tough for toddlers. If your toddler has a personality where they give up quickly, and some toddlers do, this might be the big reason why your toddler is not eating meat. If it's too hard, takes too much effort, some toddlers will just give up. Other toddlers just do not like the texture or the flavor of meat. Now, that isn't necessarily something to be concerned about. The good news is the nutrients found in meat can be found in other foods too. Thirdly, toddlers are oftentimes entering that picky eating stage, and sometimes meat is just one of those foods that gets dropped. If you keep your cool and keep engaging your toddler in meals in pleasant ways, most toddlers will regain those foods that they drop over time. But what should you do in the meantime? First, I'm going to talk about the nutrients in meat, and then I'll talk about what you can do. So hang in there with me for a few more minutes. Meat has several nutrients that are important for toddler development, particularly when we're talking about brain development and body growth. The most important nutrients are protein, iron, and zinc, and the B vitamins, all of which can be found in meat. I won't go too far into iron because I did a whole video on it recently. Make sure you check that out. Zinc is rich in meat and it is important for your child's growth. We know that when children don't get enough zinc in their diet, they can stop growing. We also know that zinc is important for taste and smell. So meat has a great source of zinc, and that is something that if your child is not eating meat, you might want to think about some of the other foods that are high in zinc, like beans and nuts and seeds. Protein is also very rich in meat and other animal sources of protein. If you want to know more about protein, I did make a video about how much protein toddlers need. I link it right up here. You can go and watch that after you finish this video. It's very useful information, and I think it will calm down your fears, if you have any, around how much protein your toddler is getting. Last, those B vitamins are rich in meat, and these are responsible for sort of the normal operating of your child's body. So B vitamins are very ingrained and involved in metabolism, which I like to say is just the engine in your child's body that makes it go. So what can you do to help your toddler eat meat? For one, I think the biggest thing you can do is make sure it's of a texture that is easy for your toddler to manage. So tender meats like dark meat poultry can be easier for toddlers to eat than their counterparts, white meat poultry. Grinding meat is another way that can help improve the texture and make it easier for toddlers to eat. So ground beef or ground lamb, for example, can be an easy way to address the texture or the chewing issues that can happen when toddlers are trying to eat meat. You can also shred meat like shredded chicken or shredded beef. It really helps toddlers be able to chew those foods a little bit easier. Also, don't forget about how you prepare meats. If you marinate them, it breaks down some of the collagen and the things in meat that makes it tough. So marinating chicken or beef, for example, can actually tenderize meat and make it easier for your toddler to eat. You can also slow cook meats in a crock pot or in the oven on low. You can roast them that way, and that will help them be juicier and more tender also. If you have a pressure cooker or one of those Instapots, sometimes you can prepare meat in those and it comes out a lot more tender and softer and easier for your toddler to eat. And also, don't forget fish. Fish is a great source of protein, iron, zinc, and B vitamins. It is easy to poach or bake in the oven, and it is just naturally softer because it has a higher fat content and it has those omega-3 fatty acids, which are awesome for your toddler's brain development. If you're a plant-leaning, plant-forward, vegetarian family who does not eat meat, that's quite all right. There are lots of foods that supply these same important nutrients. Things like beans, edamame, dark green leafy vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds. There's a lot of variety of foods out there that will carry some of these same nutrients as meat does. So you don't have to worry too much. You just make a quick substitution. And you can do that whether you're vegetarian or not. And I encourage you to do that. If you are an omnivorous family and your child isn't eating meat, just substitute one of these other foods like beans or hummus or edamame or quinoa for meat. Your child will still get a lot of these important nutrients when you do this. Remember, it's all about the total diet, not one meal, not one food. It's about striking a balance of lots of different foods with lots of different sources of nutrients in it. That's how your toddler will get all the nutrients they need to grow up well. Remember, your toddler can be healthy without meat. It means just making different choices as a substitute for meat so that your toddler gets all the nutrients just from a different source. Let me ask you, has your toddler ever gone through a phase where they would not eat meat? If so, let me know what it was like in the comments below. That's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and follow this channel, and share it with your friends if you like. Check out all the other videos related to this that I mentioned. I think you'll find them very useful. That's it. I'll see you next time. Have a great one.